grew up very poor, and I always wanted to do something bigger. Like, I never had a lot, and I always wanted to give a family of mine one day something that I was never able to experience. And so I always was like, as a kid, dreaming of how I could do that. I think at one point I wanted to be an anesthesiologist because, you make a lot of money. You go to college, whatever. Criminal justice, that's what I went to college for originally, was criminal justice. And then I switched to business, and then I switched to nursing, and then I switched to communications. And I was in college for 2 years and switched my major like 10 times. And I was like, damn, I don't want to do college. Like, I have to figure something else out. And it's funny because there was a situation that happened to me that made me really believe that I could do social media. My mindset is this: there's 8 billion people on the earth, right? 6 billion of those people use social media in some form, maybe more than that, maybe less. I don't know the statistics, but some people use Snapchat, some people use TikTok, some people use Instagram, well, people use Facebook. So like, you could just post on TikTok if you just want to have X amount of people looking at your face, or you can post on every platform and reach every demographic that you possibly can and grow even more. Create even more of a future for yourself in the industry. No matter what the roadblock is, whatever happens, whether it be a breakup or a death or failing a class, or not your video flopping, or whatever it is, people commenting mean things about you, like, use that shit as fuel and just keep fucking going. Never in a million years did I think I'd be where I am, and I'm only here because I didn't give up.
All right. This is the Kicking Ass Taking Names podcast. I'm Shaquille, the host, and we're here with Johnny on the Street. And Trey Films.
Yes, sir.
All righty, guys. And so, man, I know we were going to do this like a few months ago. We had a couple of setbacks. It's been a while. Been a minute. And so, dude, I mean, tell me about how's life, man? How's things been going?
Man, it's crazy. Like, I mean, 2 months ago, my life has dramatically changed in 2 months. 2 months ago, I never thought I'd be where I am today. I mean, I think I always imagined it, but I feel like until things start happening, it's kind of like an empty dream, But I mean, things are going really good. I couldn't be happier. Obviously, there's always setbacks and things that come up, but yeah, I'm stoked.
So for those who don't know, okay, so you are one of the up and coming names, TikToker. You've got a pretty good presence on Facebook, Instagram. I'm not sure if are you on Twitter or anything like that?
Nah, I'm not really on Twitter. I tried Twitter. Twitter's, I don't know. I don't really understand Twitter.
Yeah, we'll go into that, the Twitterverse and all those. And then, so you've got, I mean, what are your numbers are looking pretty good. So numbers, people always say like, followers, whatever. But I mean, honestly, I know it's all about engagement, this and that. But like, before we go into all that, let's just go raw numbers. What are your numbers looking like on socials, and what's the rise up into that? Like, how long has it been?
Oh man, I mean, like, how long in general? Like, how long since I started doing social media, or?
Yeah. Like, what's your when did you start, and then when did you start seeing the rise up, and where are you at right now?
Man, so I think I've always done social media ever since social media started to exist. I think I've always been a part of it. I never really took it serious until about a year ago. But since starting to take it serious, it's just kind of it's just gone up. I've never really seen it go down, which is insane. But I mean, the numbers are crazy. Facebook's going crazy. Like, I think I reached 100 million people last month, or 100 million views.
That's wild.
I don't know if it's 100 million people, but 100 million views. So it's like, I mean, it's insane to think about. I mean, even 500 people in a room is a lot of people. So when you put into perspective 100 million people, that's insane. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat even. I just got a verified Snapchat Spotlight show now that's running through Snapchat.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's really good. It's really great.
And then we also have Trey here. So Trey's your right-hand man. He's been helping you out since day one, right, doing filming?
Wouldn't be possible without him. Yeah, definitely. He's there every day.
Been here since, we met we actually haven't known each other that long. We met back in, was it June or July?
July.
Back in July, he moved from LA. Mutual friends. He asked me to film one day for him. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then kind of just took off from there.
Everything kind of just fell into place perfectly. I moved from Los Angeles here. I just had to get away from, that's a whole different story, but I had to get away from LA. If you're a creator, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I moved out here, and I was living at a place that was very uncomfortable and hard to live at, and just trying to get videos out every day, and I didn't have somebody to consistently film for me, and he just kind of fell into the picture, and it worked out perfectly, and ever since then, it's just been like, go, go, go.
So, I mean, how'd you get involved in, like, interviews. I mean, so out of every type of content, I'm sure at some point you weren't like, I'm the interview guy.
Yeah, no,
But you decided to.
I never thought I'd be in an interview. So, when I first started doing social media, I was the guy that just told jokes to the camera. Like the dream was tell jokes, be a stand-up comedian, and travel and just tell jokes. And that's what I did. I did like some kind of stand-up comedy, but not really in front of crowds, just like in front of the camera, to the phone, to TikTok, to Instagram. And I grew really quickly. I think I hit 1 million followers last June on TikTok. And the day that I hit 1 million followers, they took my account away. They completely banned my account. And so coming back, I did do a little bit of that, but I tried to like figure out how I could rebrand myself and create like a image for Johnny. Like how could I create longevity in a social media career rather than just telling jokes to the camera? And so that's kind of where I rebranded and started doing the interviews and the pranks and stuff like that.
Okay. And then since then, so you went from LA, moved to Arizona, started, doing interviews out here. I know you're big on Tempe. Do you run into like Big Dawes and guys like that?
Yeah, so I actually work with him. That's my boy. We're playing basketball tonight. I actually help run the Daily Dropout page now. That's the dream come true. It's a blessing, for sure. But yeah, I mean, he pays me. I film, make great videos. He's, I think starting next year, we're going to start traveling to different schools. He's going to, fly us to different schools, and we're going to kind of do a little bit of a tour to different colleges that are asking for us to come and do interviews and pranks and stuff like that. But yeah, Big Dawes, Steven Shapiro, Laura Frazier, all of those. That's all the team. Those are all the homies.
Okay, you're even hanging out with Steven Shapiro too.
Man, shout out to Steven, man. That's a really good guy. He gives me so much good advice. I love that guy.
That's awesome. So then, like, since this rise, like, you say you started seriously in like June, July?
Well, I started filming in LA, but my interviews were very mid because I was filming on an iPhone, didn't invest in a camera, didn't really have a filmer, just kind of going out with friends. So I started in like June, but when I got to Arizona, when I purchased my camera and started taking it very seriously, that's when things kind of started to pop off. So okay. July, yeah.
And then so like since then, so how was I mean, like, do you like what's your viral moment? Like, I don't know, as a creator, right? Like, you have a viral moment, or does that exist? Like, what's your viral?
I feel like it used to exist. I feel like now it's different because, I mean, 5 years ago doing social media, 1 million views was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You're going crazy. Like, you're viral. Now it's like, if your video doesn't hit 1 million views, you're like, damn, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like I've had a lot of viral moments, like mini viral moments along the process of growing. I think some videos go crazy. Like, I think I had a video like last week that's, I think, 20 million on Facebook. So that's super viral, but it's just like, keep going after that. I try not to get caught up in that one moment. Just keep going, keep growing, keep reaching new audiences. As far as like the biggest viral moment, I think before I got banned, I had a video do like 40 million on TikTok, which was crazy.
What was that video?
Man, it was a police brutality joke.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of love. It's funny, I got a lot of love from the black community and I got a lot of hate from the white community, it was crazy to me. But I ended up taking the video down just because it hurt a lot of people's feelings. A lot of people loved it, a lot of people hated it. Took the video down. I think it did like 40 million. But that kind of pushed me into that like comedy, telling jokes to the camera scene, and then until I got banned. So that was probably my biggest viral video up until now. I think I've done a couple more around those numbers.
I had no idea that you got banned and you had 1 million before.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. So you never know like where people are, and like I've seen that all the time, like people rebuilding accounts, stuff like that. Like, do you know why they banned you?
So TikTok specifically doesn't really tell you shit. They're like, fuck you, basically. Get out of here. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you're
like, fuck you, dude. Get out of here. Basically, like, I got an email. Oh, you've been banned for minor safety. You have the option to appeal. I appealed it. Declined the appeal, but they don't tell you why. They're just like, yeah, unfortunately, we reviewed your account. You're not allowed to have your account back. I actually went to the TikTok headquarters, which was 20 minutes away from where I lived in Los Angeles, and I, like, pulled up, I walked in. I was like, yo, what's up? And, nobody would see me. It was during COVID. They're like, no, like, I had a mask on. Nobody would talk to me. I had to fill out a form. Nothing ever came from it. My account's still gone. But, yeah, they don't really tell you. TikTok doesn't really inform you of what. They kind of give you, like, a category, but they don't tell you what exactly you did, which video it was. Just kind of leave you in the dark with that.
Yeah. So from a lot of people I've heard, like, their whole story, they don't know exactly why they've gotten banned. Facebook with ads is like the same way. So I mean,
It's funny. I've never had an issue with Facebook. I hear people having issues with it all the time. I've never had a mark on Facebook.
yeah, you promote Facebook heavy, so
Facebook's a shit.
you've been doing good on Facebook.
I mean, for me, it's a shit because I'm doing well. So
Yeah,
until they do me wrong, I don't know.
So you've been like, and you said, I mean, in terms of like straight numbers, like you've said that your Facebook has helped you monetize more actually quicker than your other platforms.
I made more. I mean, if we're talking dollars and monetary value, I've made more on Facebook in a month than I made on TikTok in a year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's like, do you have like do you suggest like a strategy for people? Like if you're going to leverage TikTok to get your name out and then post it on Facebook, or like, how'd you guys Trey, like what's your opinion, Trey, on how that's gone and what you've seen?
Facebook and him growing, I mean, we're friends with like a lot of creators and stuff, and the reason we work so well together is because he's always super motivated, and like our buddy Justin, for example, love him to death, but he only posts like maybe once every couple days. But this guy 5 times a day, almost every single day, and you see it in the numbers. Like he's posted 5 times a day, and he's growing crazy amounts, especially on Facebook. He's been going wild on there. I think a couple months ago he had a couple hundred. Now he's at over 100,000-ish right now.
Almost 200,000.
I think
on Facebook, like a page or like?
Yeah, I think I'm at 160K.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I started it in July, so that's nuts.
So I mean, so here's the thing. Like, let's go back. Like, because you started this. Why did you even decide to go? Like, what made you go into social media in the first place?
For sure. So I went to. I grew up very poor, and I always wanted to do something bigger. Like I never had a lot, and I always wanted to give a family of mine one day something that I was never able to experience. And so I always was like, as a kid, dreaming of how I could do that. I think at one point I wanted to be a anesthesiologist because, you make a lot of money. You go to college, whatever. Criminal justice, that's what I went to college for originally, was criminal justice. And then I switched to business, and then I switched to nursing, and then I switched to communications. And I was in college for 2 years and switched my major like 10 times. And I was like, damn, I don't want to do college. Like I have to figure something else out. And it's funny because there was a situation that happened to me that made me really believe that I could do social media. And it was one day I went into my counselor's office at my college to set up my courses for my next semester. And when I walked in, it was this older black lady, and I walked in, and as soon as I walked in the room, her jaw just dropped. And I was confused. She was like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "To schedule my classes." She was like, "Nah, you don't belong in college." And I was like, whoa, like the school counselor is telling me that right now. That's like unheard of. And she was like, "Are you on social media? Do you like do you do content? What do you do?" And I was like, "I mean, I like social media, but I'm just in school right now." And she's like, "I'll help you pick your classes, but come back and see me when you're famous." That's literally what she said to me. And I was like, okay. Like it was like,
no, this is before you even started.
Yeah, no context to it. I mean, I would post on Instagram and stuff, but I think I was just always different. I just never fit in. I was just always like outside of the group of people doing something
What
different.
kind of kid were you then growing up?
I was a kid that lived in Indiana and wore shorts in the winter. Like that was me. Like wore shorts and Vans with no socks, and like would just wear goofy shit and do goofy shit. And people would always look at me like, "Damn, that kid's different. Something about him." And
Like, were you like an outcast or like?
no, I was very in the mix. I was actually, until I was like 18, I was bad. I was really bad. I didn't have any structure. Like my parents weren't really there. I was getting arrested and stealing from stores and getting kicked out of school. And I think I held the lunch detention record in middle school at my school. So I was definitely like really bad. But once I turned 18, I kind of flipped shit around, and I was like, okay, people are telling me I'm different. People are telling me that they could see me doing this. Why don't I actually try to do something with it? I went off to college and tried college for a little bit, and then eventually I was like, fuck this. I got to figure this out.
Right.
And that's kind of what pushed me into social media.
And then, so you never took like a film or like any kind of like in school, anything like that?
I took a Photoshop class in high school, but nothing more than that.
So speaking on this, and we were just talking about this actually. So speaking on like cancel culture or getting banned or whatever it is, like, so what do you think about that in general? Like so for someone who has a growing following, who's growing, has like assets in this page, right? Like if your page is growing, that's like your real estate. How do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about stuff that's going on in the world? It's like, damn, I could lose my page at any minute.
Yeah, well, I have two opinions on it. I personally feel like as a creator, knowing myself, I'm very conscious of what I'm doing, where I'm at, who I'm around, what I'm saying, like everything. Because, I mean, no matter where you are, at any point in time, someone can pull out a camera phone and record you.
Right.
We had a situation where we were on campus filming and kids were trying to fight us and create a scene. And you know, it's very easy to smack one of those kids in the face. You know, it's like they're heating you up and you're getting upset. But you have to remember that you're now in the public eye. And anything that you do will be used against you in any way. Because it's not up to the courts. It's up to the people in the comment section.
Right.
They'll decide your fucking fate. So I'm very conscious of that. And I feel like if you are a creator and you have a platform, you should be. And if you're not, you're stupid. And if you do something while you have that platform to be canceled, you deserve it because you were not watching how you moved. On the flip side of that, though, I don't like that people are getting canceled for shit they did when they were kids. I did shit when I was a kid, man. Like, you know, I grew up, you know, in a not a good area, said things and did things that I shouldn't have done. And who knows, maybe one day that could come back to bite me in the ass. And that sucks. But I was a kid, you know, 10, 11 years old. And since then I've grown, I've matured, and I've learned a lot. The world has changed. People are more sensitive to certain things that they weren't back in the day. So
you're talking about like Facebook posts, like when you're like 10, 11 years old on Facebook and you write something on a post.
Not even that, just like maybe conversations through messages with friends or something like that could resurface from hate. Right. I don't know, but I mean, you see it all the time, like Kevin Hart and stuff like that, the stuff they did like when they were children.
Twitter and stuff,
like years and years and years ago when maybe they were a little bit more immature or back then what they were doing wasn't as sensitive as it is now, and they're losing their career and brand deals and all kinds of things from it and putting themselves and their families in terrible positions because someone's sensitive to something that someone said 15, 20 years ago. It's insane to me. And I
100% agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you on that. So speaking of that and then things changing, so you said that you used to live in LA, you moved out of LA, you wanted to move, you're here in Phoenix now. Yeah. What is the reason for that move? Why did you decide to move?
So I grew up in Indiana. I'm from all over Indiana. I lived in Gary, Indianapolis, Carmel, Avon, everywhere in Indiana. And then I knew from a very young age that I wanted to move to California. That was always like the dream because I was, like I said, the kid in shorts in the winter. Like I want to be by the beach, and the closest beach to me was like 14, 15 hours. And so eventually when I turned 21, I dipped out, moved to California, kind of restarted my life. I was in California for 5 years. I was in the scene, doing social media, working with creators, going to all the events and all the parties. And it just got to the point where I realized that there was no depth in the relationships I was building. I wasn't really getting anywhere in my career because LA is just this very toxic environment of everyone wants to make it and will step on anyone to do so. And that's not how I am. I want to do social media and I want to be successful, but I also want to build longevity in relationships and have depth. And so I knew I needed to get out of LA because it was just trapping me. And so I told myself that I was going to move to Arizona and give myself a year and see what I could do. And I mean, in 4 months, I've done more than I did in 5 years in LA. So I think it was the right move. And
so you planning to stay in Arizona or?
Yeah, I'm looking to buy a house in the next 6 months. That's the goal.
Dude, I know a community, by the way, that you should look at.
Yeah, let me know. Everyone keeps telling me I got all these realtors hitting me up. Like, let me know, man.
Dude, we had a realtor on the podcast. Dude, we had a guy. His name's the Tatted Realtor, Call Tattoo. At Call Tattoo.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's the guy who does like billboards and he's like tatted up and he's like the real estate agent, Arizona's real estate agent. And he actually is big on TikTok.
Let's go. Tattoos don't mean anything. You can have tattoos.
No, well that's what he said.
He's buff, right?
He's a little. I mean, he's a little bigger, you know. But like he's in shape, you know, and whatever. But like he was talking about how he wasn't in shape and how he's doing better now. But he was talking about how when he was working at like PepsiCo for like 10 years and he was behind the running delivery in trucks.
I think you
and
for sure.
This guy, dude, what's crazy is so he ended up showing up like 2 years ago on the real estate scene. And this relates to social media, right? So like he started posting on TikTok, social media, and mainly Facebook. And you're going to laugh at this. So the Facebook comment section of all his posts, so he used to put, he said he made like baiter posts. And the bait post was like, oh, somebody didn't want to like buy from me because I had tattoos and like, you know, they're just judging me. And like he didn't like make it like that. He made like a video about it and like made a whole story and like a comedy, whatever, like, you know, it was like you know, whatever, like a 30-second clip or something, right? And it's all like, oh, don't judge somebody just because whatever. And like, it was all a joke. But then it turned out that turned like everybody in the comment section was like, man, fuck that, just because he has tattoos doesn't mean he shouldn't. And like it's all these people on and mainly Facebook Which
is surprising because Facebook's an older crowd.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's Facebook that's like the most offensive towards that stuff. They're like, just because somebody has this doesn't mean you should judge them. And
that's surprising.
And it was crazy because he said like those are the videos that got him the most. And then he ended up getting like 6 of his like first sales or whatever were from like social media and TikTok and all that stuff. And like he mainly posted it because of that, like people were just judging him, and it's just
that's so crazy. Yeah, Facebook's a different beast, and I've learned that too because I mean, doing TikTok, my demographics anywhere from 15 to 21, 22, and then Facebook's anywhere from 20 to like 70.
Yeah,
I've had old men come up to me like, "Yo, I watch your videos," and I'm like, "What? Like that's nuts." And I mean, before posting on Facebook, that would have never happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
yeah,
Facebook's weird.
It's like it's like a wild ass demographic. Like everybody's on Facebook, from their grandmas, like the grandkids, and it's like
Facebook's not going anywhere. That's what's cool about it too, and there's a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly, when I was thinking about like, okay, where am I going to post this podcast? I remember when you told me, you're like, dude, post it on Facebook as well because
Facebook
you never know.
And everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere that allows you to post, Pinterest, post it.
And you know what? Who knows? I don't know what my podcast audience could be. My average age could be 45. Like, I don't know that, right? Yeah. That's the funny part. Like, maybe I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll appeal to the young crowd, and then maybe it'll end up being like the older crowd that ends up wanting to. And not saying that 45 is older, but like, let's say there's 65 or whatever.
I mean, my mindset is this. There's now 8 billion people on the earth, right? And, 6 billion of those people use social media in some form, maybe more than that, maybe less. I don't know the statistics, but some people use Snapchat, some people use TikTok, some people use Instagram, old people use Facebook. So, like, you could just post on TikTok if you just want to have X amount of people looking at your face and growing in your space, or you can post on every platform and reach every demographic that you possibly can and grow even more and create even more of a future for yourself in the industry. And that's my look on it. Like, there's people that have never downloaded TikTok ever that are on Facebook every single day. Mm-hmm. And there's people that have never made a Facebook that are on TikTok every single day. Yeah. So why would I not post the same video on both platforms?
Right.
It wouldn't make sense not to.
Right. Well, then that has me asking a question. I have a question for you now. So what's like the plan for the future of Johnny on the Street? Because like you also kind of have potential role models. Like you said, you're working with Big Dawes. You're probably also That Was Epic, right, Juan?
I actually haven't personally met him, but I'm friends with all of his friends. So eventually,
I met him in Tempe, and I was like, dude, like let's get on the podcast. So if you see him, tell him like I messaged him.
Yeah, I haven't met him personally yet, but like I said, I'm like playing basketball with all the guys tonight, and they're all friends with him. So I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Do you know who I really want to get on here? Do you know the guy who does the pooter videos, the fart videos?
What's his name? I know who you're talking
about. Dude, I swear it's on the.
I don't know his name.
I watch it so much. Jack Vale Films.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Jack Vale, dude. He's hilarious, dude. One time I had Jack Vale add me on Instagram, and I had like 1,000 followers or whatever. I was like, oh, it's Jack Vale with it was like a big deal to me because like that's the guy who like on YouTube I watched like growing up like for the last 8 years like doing pooter films or whatever. Yeah. And it's like he just literally walked around but he made such funny content. Well, probably later, I think. I don't know.
Come on, Jack.
This is like actually this is my appeal because I think maybe because he probably watches like funny stuff. You tell him,
Jack, follow him back, bro,
and get on the podcast and get on the podcast because I love that guy, dude. Like I'm actually like a fan of his.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny as hell.
And it's funny because like there's certain people that you just follow. Like they're not the most famous people. But you're like, I just like that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you vibe
like,
with
that's
their
how I
personality.
get, like, with certain people that I'm like, dude, I like their content. Like, I was following this kid, Julian. I don't know if you know Julian. He's in LA. He's, like, the kid who does the, he has people, like, hold the phone. And then he will hold the phone. And then he'll be like, hey, can you, like, film me? I'm making a video for TikTok or whatever.
Oh, with the long
hair, the curly hair, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know him personally, but I've seen his videos.
No, I talked to him.
He's funny as
I might
hell.
get him on here. And so I was talking to him, and I just thought it was so funny. Like, so I've had people who are like, dude, like, I don't find that funny at all. I crack up at every video.
That's social media though, man. I'd say 50% of my comments are haters, but to be honest, they make the video go more viral, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm like, please comment all your hate. Tell me why you hate me. Tell me why you think I'm not funny. Tell me why you don't like my teeth or my jawline's fucked up or I have a big nose or I'm balding. Like, please comment it, because then more people are gonna comment and it's gonna go more viral. So thank you.
Right. So like, so for you, like, how is what's on your mind right now? Like, what's your plans? What are you looking at? What do you want to do?
Yeah, so I used to go by Blonde Johnny. That was my that was my TikTok, that was my social media, that was my name. But I wanted to rebrand myself and create something that was catchy, but also could, I don't know, I could be in movies or TV shows or game shows or whatever, and just have a catchy name. And so I thought of Johnny on the Street randomly one night, and then I branded myself Johnny on the Street, and then like a week later, I was scrolling on TikTok, and bam, there's this guy, Billy on the Street, and I was like, fuck. But I was already like kind of in it, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. Billy on the Street, Johnny on the Street, maybe one day we'll work together. I'll just keep it. But
what happened to Billy on the Street?
I don't know. Is he still, I've seen him like twice, 3 times on, is he still
I think
doing it?
he's not consistent, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, so Johnny on the Street taking over.
It's all about consistency.
He's funny as fuck, though. He's funny as fuck. So, I don't know, but I genuinely, I made the name, I thought of the name prior to ever even knowing who the guy was. And then a week later, I see him on my feed. I'm like, oh, of course.
This one's hilarious. This is actually a funny story. When I first met you, and I think I told you this, when I first met you, and now it's an ex, so it's whatever. It's ex story. But I was dating a girl, and then she told me, she's like, oh, that's Johnny on the Street. Like she literally was like a fan. She's like, yeah, I watch his videos. Yeah, he's good.
That's so funny.
And I was like, oh, yeah. Like, and now when I think about that, I'm like, oh, well, you know, that's how I found out about you, kind of a little bit. She was like, oh, that's Johnny on the Street. Like, because I told her I met you at, because I met Trey in Tempe.
Yeah, I forget where we met.
Dude, we don't remember. We both won't remember that.
It had to have been a bar. You guys are probably drunk.
Dude, we don't remember. But I remember that I met you, and then I texted you, and then I added Johnny, and then I texted Johnny, and then I ended up going to your little, like, you know, what was it?
We did a little house party.
Yeah, it's like a small get together, and then like we ended up talking, and then we're like, yeah, and then we were going to the Jake Paul fight, and then we didn't even go.
Yeah, I didn't even end up going. Sorry, Jake.
I didn't go because you know what's funny? I ended up going to a local place to watch it, right? I was like at a restaurant, and then I was watching it, and then I was like, I swear it's like going to start soon. And then they're like, no, that's when the main card starts. And I was like,
yeah, Jake's fight wasn't till late.
I was like, dude, I could have just drove. And the tickets were super cheap. Like,
yeah, full transparency, I watched the highlights on YouTube, so sorry.
Dude, the tickets were super cheap, dude. Yeah,
like that ended up being a flop of an event, I think. I don't know. Don't quote me.
Would you, so here's my question. Would you ever be like, what do you think about YouTube boxing, and would you ever do it if you got
fuck
big
yeah, I would. I would box someone. I think I'd win. Maybe. I'd probably get knocked out, but I feel like I would win.
Who's your call out right now? Who are you going to call out?
No, I'm just playing. Oh, man. I don't know.
Start a little bit.
Somebody my size, like... The first famous person to ever comment on any of my videos was Tanner Fox. So maybe me and Tanner Fox can run it.
Dude, that's like trying to box like the first person, like.
Yeah, but I don't know. No, I fuck. Like as far as like someone I don't like that I would box, man, I don't know. Like who would I call out? Who would you call out?
I don't know. I don't really dislike anyone that much.
J2 Chris.
Anyone like?
Dude, you want to know the biggest one that you could? You know who's the biggest name that you could call out that you're friends with?
Who?
Bryce
Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm actually not really friends with him.
Wait, no. You're not friends with him. Julian's friends with him. I'm getting mixed up.
I know him. We mutuals, but I wouldn't box him. He'd probably beat my ass. He's way bigger than me. I'm quicker, but one hit. If I caught a hit from him, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
He's got some big arms.
I'm gonna save this because I'm gonna probably get Julian on here. We'll see, and then I'll ask him about it.
Who would I fight, dude? FaZe Rug, maybe. We're like the same size.
I don't even know who that is.
A little taller than FaZe Rug. I don't know.
Dude, isn't that crazy how like?
Oh, Slim Jesus. Y'all remember Slim Jesus? Calling him out. Pop out, bro. I'll take him in the ring. You remember him?
Yeah. Dude, where is that? Is that kid still like?
I don't even know if he's alive. R.I.P.
That's honestly
he could be anywhere at this point.
I was gonna say I don't know if he's even. I don't remember if he's around.
That song was hard though. Voice was cracked.
Dude, there are a couple people who've gone and like came and gone in the day for social media. Like, there's a lot of people who are on Vine and this and that. Like TikTok, it's almost like a more permanent Vine. It seems like.
Well, I don't know. They just passed. There's something now that just came out that they're trying to ban it again in the United States.
I mean, if they do though,
That'd be
it's.
so
I mean,
hard.
if they do, Vine was there and they're gone. TikTok.
I
And
used
then
to
they'll
care,
be
but I really just don't care anymore because TikTok banned me from the Creator Fund, so I'm not making a single dollar from TikTok anyways. They hate me. They're never gonna like ever push my stuff. It's all
Right.
So I mean, whatever. They can go. Sorry to any
Dude, so
TikTokers.
why do you think that it looks like Zay's getting more push on it? Why do you think he's getting it?
I
then?
think Zay can reach a different audience that I can't reach.
Right.
And I don't know. He's been in it a little bit longer than me, and so his face is out there more. Zay and I equally we get recognized together. Like when we walk in public together, it's difficult sometimes. But I mean, I don't look at it like he's bigger than me or I'm bigger than him. I look at it like who's working, who's consistent, and he's consistent and I'm consistent. And so I believe that if you're consistent in the space and you continue to go, you can only win.
Right.
Unless you fuck up and do something stupid, so don't. But
Yeah. Right. So yeah. So what's So yeah. I mean, Trey, what do you see from like the outside looking at this whole experience, stuff like that? Like I've got yeah. I mean, go ahead.
I don't know. It's interesting for sure. I mean, I always wanted, like, film-wise, I always wanted to be a filmer and stuff like that and kind of take photos and such. I did, like, one class in high school. Didn't really like it. I just didn't like school in general. I was going to go to ASU for film and kind of was like, not really worth the money at that point because you can really learn film off YouTube even.
What do you use primarily, like Adobe Premiere or Pro? Or?
We have both, but we use Final Cut mostly.
Okay.
And I actually just started editing a week or two ago, maybe.
yeah, tell him.
And
Tell 'em
Big
who you're
Dogs
editing
and all
for.
them drop out. They have me edit some of their videos now,
Which is huge.
which is pretty crazy to me because I've always wanted to do that, but I never had like an in for it.
People work their asses off to get in rooms.
Yeah, it's like
that.
it's like
So
a dream
that's-
job for like a lot of people. So I'm very grateful for it.
Right.
It's kind of mind blowing. They have a content house out in Mesa, and I go there 2 or 3 times a week, sit down, and they teach me everything they know. There's probably 4 or 5 editors there on a daily basis. So I'm doing shit with them, and I don't know, it's crazy because I see Steven every day almost. I see Big Dawes. He'll walk past me and be like, what up? Which is insane because I watched Big Dawes because I went to middle school and elementary school in Arizona. So I kind of heard of like certain people like Big Dawes and stuff. He wasn't massive or anything at that time. Then I actually moved to Nebraska, oddly enough. My dad got remarried. And I was watching Big Dawes all through high school.
Right.
So I remember he was from Arizona, and I always wanted to go back to Arizona. And so I was watching him, and so it's kind of mind-blowing that I see the dude at least 2 or 3 times a week now. Yeah. And he's cool. He followed me on Instagram. It's like one of the very few verified people I have followed on Instagram.
It's a win, though. I mean, shout out to Doss, man. He's a great guy.
It's wild. I don't know. I mean, all thanks to him because I put my trust in him. He put his trust in me, filming wise, and he knew I wasn't like a filmer or anything. But
so I have a little question about something that was going on recently. That weird, like that. Okay, I don't want to call it weird. It was a little bit weird.
Weird as fuck.
It was weird. So like that rally for like a president.
Dixon Buzz and Harry Ball.
Yeah,
The video
yeah.
just came out today. Actually, go watch it.
What is it?
You could call it weird. I think it's funny as fuck. But basically,
It was funny.
It's just YouTube humor, really, and it's bringing back some of the old school YouTube humor that's really not even accepted now. But basically, there was this guy who just a random guy. He's not random. He's great. But this guy, he created this during the election and stuff. He created this sign called Dixon Butts. It was Dixon Butts. And he just put it out on TikTok, and it went super viral. He was on the news, all this. And then Doss picked it up and, like, flew him out, I think. I don't know, like, the full details there. And he's like, yo, like, we should do something together. Let's do, like, a fake rally.
Right.
Or, like, a fake, like, campaign, Harry Balzac and Dixon Butts. And so they did, like, this whole fake campaign, this whole fake rally. They, like, went out and got horses and, like, did this whole photo shoot. And they hired, like, voice actors and everything and made this insanely funny fucking rally, like, fake presidential video.
Right.
And I mean, you got to go watch it. It just came out today. It's
crazy.
funny as hell.
It's on YouTube now. Or?
Yeah, it just dropped this morning. So I was watching it on the way here.
It's
actually,
on,
no, I wasn't. I
Big
was not
Dawes
doing
TV.
that.
Big Dawes. Okay.
It's on his channel. That thing was crazy.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a fun experience. We went to this the Dixon headquarters, the people that do like the flannels and shit. They hosted it, which was perfect because it's Dixon. So
yeah,
it was perfect, and we had like a fake rally. You know, just drank and had a good time and filmed and played games and, you know.
Dude, I wanted to go to that. I don't remember what I was doing that day, but I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, no, it was cool though, but
That was like out in Tempe or whatever. And then have you guys been to like that new Barstool Sports?
Yeah, we went to the night it opened.
Opening night. It's cool. It's a cool little venue.
Did they promote you guys when you guys were there, or you guys were just like regular?
Honestly, we went
just regular. Like,
so we just showed up. We were like, oh, let's just go, and the line was nuts. And this guy, pessimist over here, he was like, we're not getting in. You're not gonna wait in line. Blah blah. I was like, we're getting in. So I walk up to the front of the line. I'm like, yo, some guy recognized me. He's like, yo, can we like stand in line with you? He was like 5 people back from the front. He was like, yeah, like come on. So I take them all. We walk in like 10 minutes and we get in. And then once we're in, I get like waved over to the VIP section where Brianna Chicken Fry and all these people are sitting, and Danny Jackal and like the Barstool people. And we go over and we're just chilling. You know, it ended up being a really good time. He ends up like chilling with Biz, hanging out with Biz the whole night. So yeah.
Well, what's his name? What's his name who runs Barstool Sports?
Portnoy, Dave.
Portnoy, yeah, Dave. Yeah. So like, was Dave there?
I didn't see him. Maybe he was there. I didn't.
He
see
opened one in. I think the first one was out in Boston. He opened and he went to that one. But he's always on the East Coast. I feel like he never leaves the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like, because he has what's the podcast? BFF's podcast.
Yeah.
And he's always at his house doing that.
I really like how the place is set up. It's very open.
Sweet.
I haven't been there yet, dude. I really want to go.
It's in a weird spot, but it's very open. There's like, you walk in, it's a big open like.
Where is it though exactly? Like, is it in?
Do you know where
Scottsdale?
Do you know Diego Pops? It's in Scottsdale Old Town.
Oh, where Diego? Yeah,
it's
I know.
like across the street from Diego Pops.
Oh,
that area.
It's not right by all the other ones.
Right across from the street.
That's like but that's like in between the mall.
It's by the garage where everyone parks.
Yeah.
It's not by like the actual other clubs, so it's like a little bit distant.
I liked it. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk shit about it, but personally, I thought it was very open. You didn't feel really crowded. There was a huge dance floor right when you walked in. You could go to the back. You could go upstairs. There was a bar upstairs with another dance floor. There's the side bars.
Yeah,
it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah, that's funny. Like I was I actually know people who were. I'm from Seattle, and I know people from Seattle who were like, yeah, Barstool Sports just opened a new bar over there. I'm like, how do you guys know? Like, you're way out in Seattle, but like it
was hyped up on social media.
Yeah, it was hyped up. Like, it was pretty big. Like, this is crazy. Like, the whole, and this goes back to you saying why you've gotten more done here in like 4 months. And like this area, like Phoenix in general, and shout out to Phoenix. This place is really going crazy.
Someone told me when I first moved here, and I didn't really know like the validity behind it, but I forget who it was, but someone had mentioned to me that when people do move here, for some reason, they end up doing financially better times 10.
Yeah.
And it's true. For me, it's
no, I agree. It's just like, it's a lot easier to get stuff done out here. Not only is it
way cheaper than LA, but I just feel more motivated. I don't feel like I'm being stepped on or used, or I'm really just able to like let my ideas flow and just have fun.
Yeah.
And it's paying off. So.
And then, like every third week you meet some big person that's like, oh yeah, man, like we got to collaborate. And you're just like, what the, like how I ran into you guys, like I ran into Trey, and then like, it's just a complete, like the whole, this is where it is right now. You know, it's like LA in the 90s. Like everybody talks about LA in the 90s. Like that was the big thing. I feel like Phoenix right now is like
Phoenix, Scottsdale, all of it.
It's like pretty big right now.
One thing that I really enjoyed is, I'd say 80 to 90% of the people that I've met here have been genuine connections.
Right.
It's like it's not like for example, like when I first met Doss, you know, I just saw him on the street. He was filming a video. I was filming a video. I stopped. I was like, yo, I got to get you in my video. Watch your videos as a kid. Like we have to collaborate. And so, you know, he was super chill. It was a very good, genuine connection. We had a great conversation. Got him in a video, you know, and went on my way. And, you know, luckily that turned into something. But that's been my experience in meeting people here. Whereas in LA, I mean, you meet someone and they're like, how many followers you have? You know what I mean? Or how many views do you get?
Yeah. That's how I feel about Seattle in general. It's kind of like where...
I've never been to Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's a cool place to hang out in like in the summer and stuff. But the rest of the year, unless you want to be like a software engineer, if that's your goal in life, like, I feel like that's what it's good for, you know?
That's why I tell people about Indiana. They're like, why'd you move out of Indiana? I'm like, well, you have two options. You can either... you know, work behind a desk and get a house, or you can do meth. Like those are your two options in Indiana. So.
Dude, it's even funnier because I've been rewatching Breaking Bad lately, and like Bryan Cranston's performance is like unparalleled, dude. Like just watching him.
My friend used to date what's the kid's name? The
Jesse
the
Pinkman
kid with the crutches. And what's his name?
Walter Jr.
Walter Jr. Yeah, what's his real name though?
I have no idea.
I met him like
his real
10
name.
times. We went to Disney together. Or not Disney. We went to fucking Universal Studios together. But yeah, my friend used to date him. Yeah, pretty chill dude. I can't remember his name, but
yeah. So I mean, so like, what's what's on the agenda now? You guys got anything coming up big?
So starting in January, we're gonna be touring. I'm gonna do a personal tour for myself. I'm gonna tour some of the West Coast colleges, some of the big colleges. We're gonna do UCLA, USC, San Diego State University, maybe Washington, whatever requests we get, and then we're also gonna be flying once a month with the Daily Dropout to different schools around the country. I think we want to do West Virginia and big schools like that. I would love to go to IU. It's my home school. So that's big. That should be the first half of the year. I want to get my teeth done. That's big. That's huge on the agenda. And buy a house. Those are my 3 things. You
buying a house here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably my idea is to buy a house in Tempe and then rent it out to students, preferably girl students. But yeah.
Don't want it to get destroyed.
Yeah, no frat boys, no sorority girls.
Yeah, they go crazy.
But yeah, I want to buy my first property, rent it out, and then just kind of snowball from there.
If you do that, that's good. Or if you decide to come up north, towards North Phoenix or North Scottsdale, like, let me know, because I know.
Yeah, I was looking in Scottsdale as well. I kind of want to stay away from Phoenix, but Scottsdale and Tempe are kind of where I'm
Dude, North Phoenix / North Scottsdale is like, I mean, because if you, like, where I am at, it's North Phoenix. It's a pretty, like, really nice, clean area.
Okay, yeah, someone I know lives in North Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time there.
Yeah. All right, dude, so, I mean, so you also said that you keep talking about Indiana, all of that. You come from Indiana.
Hometown.
That's hometown, homegrown.
Yes.
And then where are you from, Trey?
Vegas, actually.
Vegas.
Yep.
That's so weird. Like, dude, I never run into people who are from Vegas. Like,
I didn't even know that you could be from there.
Yeah, I thought you just
you
just moved there.
There's hospitals in Vegas. There's
Yeah.
hospitals there.
The hospital I was born in is like 10 minutes off the strip.
I thought what happened in Vegas stayed.
Dude, are there like little gambling? Are there little like machines in the hospital or?
Ooh, I wouldn't know that.
Do you remember
Probably
from when you were 1 year old?
I haven't been back, but they're everywhere else. That's for
Come
sure.
out of the womb
Every
and
gas
fucking
station,
spin a slot machine.
Okay, so yeah, so you say you're from Indiana.
Yep.
Like you also mentioned something, and you know this kind of goes back to the theme. The theme of the podcast, kicking ass, taking names. So it's like you're coming from something. Like you're from a certain place. You built a brand. You built it. Whatever. It's like, what is it that you want to say? If you want to say anything to the audience, if you want to say anything about like how you've gotten to the place you are,
Totally.
and also just to like, I know you're proud of like, you know what you've been able to do, especially in the last few months. Like,
Totally.
dude, like now's the time if you have time to brag about yourself and just talk about it.
Well, I think I'm definitely proud of the stuff I've done in the last few months, but I don't think I would have been able to do what I've done in the last few months if it wasn't for the last 10 years, 15 years of my life. So yes, I'm from Indiana. I'm from not much. I'm from a place where if you went there, you'd be like, oh, this is rough. You know, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to Gary, but if you're watching, you've been to Gary, Indiana. That place is not it.
Is that like a NASCAR place or something?
No, that's Speedway, Indiana, where the Brickyard 500 is, which I've also spent a lot of time there. But I think I'm grateful. I think it's what's created the drive in me to be as successful as I am, and I'm gonna be. Coming from nothing, I think it motivated me to just continue to push through all of the bullshit. And there's been so much bullshit along the way. I mean, breakups and deaths and just endless things that have really created roadblocks for me to kind of maneuver around and keep going. But one thing I wanted to share is I think no matter what the roadblock is, this is super cheesy and cliche, but really it is true. No matter what the roadblock is, whatever happens, whether it be a breakup or a death or you know, failing a class or, you know, not your video flopping or whatever it is, people commenting mean things about you, like use that shit as fuel and just keep fucking going, because you might be at your lowest moment, and if you decide to give up, you'll never get to see that highest moment. And there's been, in my own life, full transparency, there's been many times where I just wanted to give up, take my life and just give up, and you know, I'm done here. And I'm so grateful that I didn't. I'm so grateful that I had a support group around me to keep me going, because man, like, never in a million years that I think I'd be where I am, and I'm only here because I didn't give up. So yeah, it's heavy on my heart right now, especially I'm dealing with a loss and someone who gave up in my life, and it's tough to see that, because I saw so much potential in that person, and I don't want anybody to feel like it's over for them. There's, I mean, we're always evolving as humans. We're always evolving as a society, and who knows what's next. And you only get to find out if you're still here. So don't give up in whatever your situation you're going through. Even if you feel like you're alone, push through that shit, because eventually it's going to be better. And in whatever fashion. But I don't know. How do you feel about that?
The same way. I mean, I came from it's weird because we're like the same person almost. That's why we get along.
Dude, we order like the same meal. It's fucking weird.
That's weird.
I
We're
don't
like the
even
same
understand.
person, but we come from almost polar opposites. I mean, I grew up, parents got divorced when I was a kid. So I was with my dad mostly. A lot of my brothers were with my mom most of my life. So it was me and my dad kind of kicking ass through life. We weren't struggling a lot or anything, but we weren't, crazy rich, nothing like that. But we were going through life. And when I first started kind of getting into social media, I did it for fun, more or less. I kind of grew a little bit, had some troubles with it, and I hated school. I went to ASU, so I'm only 21. I went to ASU.
You're only 21 right now?
Yeah, 21.
Dude, what? This guy's 21.
Which is crazy.
Young man over here.
Yeah,
I look 21.
I went to high school in Nebraska, like I said, and after that, my dad kind of just pushed me into college, and I was fine with it. I was like, yeah, sure, that's what everyone does. That's what I thought. That's what you got to do to become a certain person in life. I didn't look into social media too deep into it. I did it a little bit, but I was like, yeah, college, got to do it. Bottom line, college is the thing to do. 2 years, or not even 2 years, after the first year, I was like, I hate this. I can't do it. Class sucks. I was like, changed my major.
Dude, I had
3 or
no
4 times.
attention, man.
Dude, if you don't have a plan for your life, go to college. You don't need it,
Yeah,
but
you don't
if you
need
don't know
it,
what you're doing, just
but-
go. But if you have another plan, listen to
Well,
what
that's
I
how
say.
I was. I had no plan after high school. I was the stoner kid in high school. I got good grades, 3.6 GPA or something like that. Good grades, enough to get into college, but I was just a stoner kid. Didn't really ever pay attention to what I actually wanted to do.
Right.
Liked film, but didn't know how to get into that. So I went to college, started as a business. Didn't really like business because they weren't really teaching you much. They kind of portray that they're going to teach you more business, but it's I was taking a lot of math classes and stuff like that. I was like, why am I taking math if I want to do this certain thing in business? So I moved into tourism. I thought that was going to take me around the world because I love traveling. Completely opposite. It was you're going to sit behind a desk and help people go around the world. I was like, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Ended up dropping out, kind of just got, kind of dead-end jobs for a little bit. I was a car salesman for a little while. And then, oddly enough, met him through mutual friends. And he asked me to film one day, and here we are.
And then now you're working with...
now with Big Dawes and everything.
Now
like
he's fully enrolled at Riss State University.
Right.
Out of Riss
What is
City,
that?
Ohio.
Yeah. So what is that?
It's just I started doing these videos where I pick up chicks, funny pickup lines and stuff like that, mostly for Daily Dropout, but I started posting them on my own channel as well. And my comments are flooded, the Rizzler, the Wizard of Oz, all kinds of funny shit.
You knew Wilson's gotten on the Riz train?
Who?
That Julian guy.
Oh yeah, no, he is for sure,
He
and
was
it's an untapped market because it's all over social media. Riz is popping right now. So
It's a trending word. Is this how social
brand.
media works? They pick up a word and then everybody follows it and
Catchy
It'll be a new
enough,
word
people
in a
just
few
take
months.
on with it. I saw this UK creator had in his bio, he's from the UK, lives in the UK, and it was professor in quantum physics or something. And I thought it was just kind of in the ASU.
So if you want to be a part of the Riz gang, go to JOHNYONTHESTREET.com right now and buy yourself a hoodie.
Instant
Shameless
Riz with the
plug.
hoodie.
dude.
I'm telling you, you go from a 6 to a 10 instantly if you wear the hoodie. I'm just saying.
I think it's funny, dude.
every
I love
year-
it. But I also am gonna get you guys both podcast shirts,
Let's do it.
podcast hats.
I'll get you a
They're
shirt.
on the way. We'll do a gift exchange. White elephant. I got a Christmas party at my
White
place
elephant?
on the 18th.
Why's it got to be a white elephant?
Okay, well, what do you like?
just playing.
White, whatever
No, but-
it is.
Yeah, but that's the most important thing out of this whole podcast, man. No matter where the fuck you are, don't stop. Post, even if you post once a day. If you're doing social media, do that shit. Even if you have to get up early to go to your job that you fucking hate, just go. Something's coming from it.
Even if you don't know where exactly your podcast direction's going, but you're still gonna keep trying
Film that shit
until you
and
get
post
it.
man.
You gotta keep going.
And you're gonna keep building it and keep going.
Dude, this podcast setup is way better than pretty much every podcast setup I've seen. So you have that going for you.
Yeah, and our team is
That's
badass
sweet.
too. We got Martin over there. I don't know if Martin wants.
I'm not gonna lie. He pulled out the time clock, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, the little details.
Yeah.
It's the little details, you know.
Yeah. Now
lot
these
of people
guys
are
are,
checking their phones
dude.
and stuff.
AZ Pod Studio. represent. It's these guys and their team, Ben, Martin. Dude, they're killing it.
Yeah,
they added this little touch right there, which is cool.
Sick.
I want to put an official
perfect.
like sign too as well, but like at some point we'll see how if
amazing,
they have a
man.
second room opening up, we might.
I feel like we could talk for 3 more hours. There's so much I want to say, but I'm grateful to be here. Thank you guys for having me on the podcast. It's cool that I'm making a wave in the space, and I hope that we can continue to grow. And maybe in a year I come back and things are way different. So
let's do. I mean, I would love to have you guys
little
back
update.
on again, like at another point, and
maybe we can get more into the nitty gritty of life.
100%.
Shit, but
Yeah,
scratch the surface today.
Yeah. Well, we got an intro.
Awesome.
We got an intro. We got a story. We got what you guys are going for and where you're gonna go. So now we just keep in touch. If you want to follow Johnny, follow him on at Johnny on the Street, JOHNY on the street, TikTok, Instagram.
One N, JOHNY.
Yep, one
On
N.
the street.com.
And then and then you can also catch Trey. Johnny will also have him on his videos, tagged, etc.
He's also starting to make his own videos now. We're getting him back in the space. So
Here and there. Yep. I used to do. I got banned too. Wow.
trying to get him motivated. This is an example of not giving
all right,
up.
I'm done.
No more
We're
bands.
getting back in.
And make sure you guys check out Kicking Ass and Taking Names podcast. The setup is phenomenal, and obviously putting his heart and soul into this.
Yeah.
So
You're all awesome.
deserves some recognition.
All I believe is that if we if we all keep doing what we're doing, then we'll be doing good. You know?
Absolutely.
Straight.
Consistency.
Stay on the ground.
People always ask me, how do you do it? Consistency. That's the only fucking way. It doesn't even matter if your videos are the worst quality. If you post 10 of them a day, you're going to go viral. So,
And
Or
so
your
with
page is
that,
wild.
yeah. So with that being said, for this episode, go Argentina,
yeah, no.
Oh, that's
go
what you're going
Argentina, and have a good night.
You're going to
everybody.
Argentina? Who you going?
It's France or
think I
Argentina?
got-
Who's
go
even in it?
Messi.
I don't know shit about
Messi's
soccer.
Argentina.
Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah.
Lakers. All right.
Mbappe's good, but I don't know. He's young. I think Messi needs to get it before he retires.
I think he should. He's doing good. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah.